Hi, it's the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Yes, sirree. 299 episodes. Are you serious? Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. And you know what? I also can't believe we gotta talk sports again. Well, actually, I can believe that, but that's the premise of the show. But I'm pretty sure we all know that by now. Let's go to Cleveland Cavaliers, shall we? Yes, we shall. Heading into last night's game, the Cavaliers. 122.3 points per game, 45.5 field goal percentage, 45.5% field goal percentage, and shooting 36.1% from three-point land. From free throw land, it's 76.1. They're having 43 and a half rebounds per game, 27.7 assists per game, and 9.9 steals per game. Let's talk about the Cavalier game recap, shall we? First, it was the Wizards. That was a win, as we all know by now. That was pretty good for the Cavs, 148 to 115. So whenever you blow out your opponents, that's always a good thing. Donovan Mitchell had 24 points. Evan Mobley had 18 points and 10 rebounds. Jared Allen, 16 points and 14 rebounds. C.J. McCollum for Washington, 25 points. There's Isaac Okoro returning to Cleveland, but we'll tap on that in a bit. Alex Sarr, 20 points. And the Cavs were winning for almost the entirety of the game. And they had 13 more rebounds than Washington. And then the game you're looking at right now, Cavs Bulls, what the Cavs are bringing back their classic 2000s jerseys, which they should do full-time, I just like to say that. It was a 128-122 win. Donovan Mitchell and DeAndre Hunter had 29 points apiece. Evan Mobley, 24 points, 8 rebounds. And Isaac Okoro, of course, returning to Cleveland. That dude had 19 points. What else happened? You might be wondering. Jalen Smith, 18. Chicago was up 19 at their peak, but could not get the job done. Yeah, I won't complain about that because the Cavs won. But what I will complain about is that they didn't win against Miami during the first round of games against Miami, 140 to 138 in overtime. Oh man, that's tough. That's super tough because Andrew Wiggins had a buzzer-beating dunk. I kid you not, a buzzer-beating dunk with 0.4 of a second left. Donovan Mitchell, who wound up with 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Always tough whenever that happens. But when he hit a turnaround shot, it went and tied at 1-3 with 0.4 of a second left. And then the Cavs left Mr. Wiggins wide alone, and he easily dunked it in time for the game-winning slam dunk. Oh my goodness, that's tough. That's very tough. Evan Mobley, 21 points, 10 rebounds that night. Sam Merrill had all 12 of his points come from three-point land, so there was that. What else happened, you might be wondering? Well, I'll tell you what else happened. Cavs won 2 nights later by a final score of 132-116. Always good to see that. Wow, how about Jared Allen, folks? 30 points, 10 rebounds. DeAndre Hunter, 21 points, 6 rebounds. I just like to say there was no Darius Garland, no Donovan Mitchell. And the Cavs still got the job done. Lonzo Ball, 8 assists, 15 points. Norman Powell had 27 points for them. And Davion Mitchell, not Donovan Mitchell, Davion Mitchell for Miami, 16 points. So there was that. What else happened in that wonderful world? Max Strus and Evan Mobley weren't playing either. Wow, who would have thunk it? Anyways, both teams did very well, except for the Cavs shooting 3 points. They were 48 for 47. Yikes, that ain't good. That is not good at all. Let's look at what the standings look like in the good old Eastern Conference. Yes. Wow, they're second in the Eastern Conference. Yes, sirree. Detroit is first. They are on fire. J.B. Bickerstaff, former Cavaliers head coach, doing a great job out there. He's won 8 straight games with Detroit. Cavs are 8-4. They are 2 back of Detroit. It's still early on in the season, so don't panic yet. But I'd just like to say the Oklahoma City Thunder are picking up right where they left off. Good golly. 12-1. Oh, ye gods, that's insane. That is insane. They've only lost one game in the Denver Nuggets. They sit at a 9-2 record. And the Spurs, Wemby's having a good season, Victor Wembanyama. They're 8-3 on the season, so there is that. Anyways, let's look at Tommy's picks recap. Oh boy, we got a bunch of picks, don't we, folks? Not pictures, but predictions as in picks. Yep, you know it. What happened, you might be wondering. I'll tell you what happened. In Division 1, St. Ed's beat up Berea Mid-Park, by a score of 45-14. Whitmer beat Perrysburg 17-3. McKinley beat Medina 30-7. Manor bounced Jackson 52-6. Division 2, Region 5, Hobid shut out Boardman 38-0. Hudson beat Lake 14-12. Austintown Fitch edges out 3-point win over Green 28-25. And Walsh beat up Nordonia 49-18. Division 2, Region 6. Ooh boy, those good old Hornets, we did it again. We beat Brecksville 38-7, going to the regional semis for the 5th consecutive year. North Ridgeville beat Anthony Wayne 42-7. Avon beat Olmsted Falls 46-13, and Wadsworth beat St. Francis de Sales 34-6. Higher seeds won all the games, so the top 4 teams are in the regional semifinals. Of course, Big Walnut beat Walnut Ridge 43-0. Canal Winchester, they beat Westerville South 20-21. Washington, my goodness, they beat up Hoover pretty badly 62-7. St. Francis de Sales edges out, narrowly escapes with a win over Ashland. Ryan Day's kids, the quarterback there, threw like 400-plus passing yards against Ashland, including the game-winning touchdown. Wow, what a game that was, from what I heard. Division 3, Region 9. Canfield 27, Kenston 12. VASJ 69, Maple Heights 32. East, Akron East still alive, my goodness. They beat Hawkins 36-16. CVCA beat Geneva 42-7. Buckeye beats St. Mary's Memorial 26-0. Rocky River beats Revere Apopano 23-14. And Central Catholic beat Lexington at Lexington 49-18. And Wapakoneta beat Shawnee 41-16. Division 4 time. Perry beat NDCL 26-6. West Branch beat Norton 35-14. How about Lake Catholic? They're still going strong. They beat Streetsboro 16-0, but wasn't as impressive as Glenville, who shut out Salem as well. But they scored 49 instead of 16. Wow. Cardinal Mooney in Division 5. They beat South Range by a score 48-12. Garfield beat St. Clairsville 48-31. How about Poland Seminary beating up Liberty 35-14? Gerard, Coach Pearson, a BW kid. He beat Manchester, his Gerard Indians, 28-14. And then you also have Kirtland. They're doing their thing again, 41-3. Smithville edges out 1-point win over United, 27-26. Dalton beat Columbia 34-15. And Garraway beat Crestview 34-0. And finally, Division 7. McDonald. They beat Warren JFK by a score of 28-13. And Monroeville, they beat Malvern 34-14. So there is that. And Mogador beat East Palestine 54-7. East Canton beat Harding by a score of 46-26. Let's look at the college football scores, whether it's D3 or Division 1 or the NFL, which isn't college, but you got the gist. Mount Union beat Marietta 30-19. They win the conference again. Christopher Newport, they beat Salisbury 45-42. River Falls beat La Crosse 41-7. And lousy John Carroll will win their conference in the North Coast 55-17. Hope shut out Calvin 52-0. And my Yellow Jacket season might be toast. Oh, come on. Ohio Northern did it. They beat us 30-28 in a tough game at Ada, at Dial Roberson Stadium. Dial Roberson Field, I think is what it's called, actually. Or no, Dial Roberson Stadium. You got the gist. Grove City beat Case 28-14. What else happened? Denison beat Kenyon 33-18. Alma beat up Kalamazoo by 50. 53-3. Bridgewater beat Hampton Sydney 45-42. Adrian beat Trine 44-21. Hiram looked like dead men walking when they played the Westminster Titans 76-0. Wow. And Waynesburg beat St. Vincent 35-24. What else happened? In a triple overtime barn burner, oh ye gods, a 59-57 win by Franklin. And Hanover beat Otterbein 49-8. Muskingum beat Capital 7-3. MSJ beat Manchester 48-20. And Heidelberg beat Wilmington 34-31. Ah, yes. Memphis beat Tulane 38-32. And how about Indiana? They looked like they were going to win big time against Penn State. Then Penn State made the comeback. Indiana gets the stop. They got to go 80 yards in less than 2 minutes. No timeouts in their pockets. Fernando Mendoza calmly leads them down the field. I don't think they ever faced fourth down. No, they did not face fourth down. But they did have one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in the back of the end zone. Somehow getting 1 foot in bounds, which is all you need in college football, folks. Let me remind you that. And Indiana survives. They are still undefeated. Kurt Signetti doing his thing. 27-24. And Georgia beat Mississippi State 41-21. Tech ends BYU's undefeated season 29-7. And the Buckeyes went to Purdue, invaded Purdue, and won 34-10. Rutgers against Maryland. Rutgers won 35-20. A&M beat Mizzou 38-17. Oregon on a last-second field goal downs Iowa Kinnick 18-16. And Miami beat Syracuse 38-10. They bounced back after a tough loss to SMU last week. Arizona beat Kansas 24-20. Iowa State finally picked up a win. They needed that. 20-17 over TCU. Vandy won in overtime against Auburn, 45-38. And Clemson beats Florida State in two very, very disappointing teams. I'll tell you that. Both coaches are probably going to get fired soon. Dabo Swinney, Mike Norvell. And what else is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Alabama beat LSU 20-9. Ty Simpson looking really good out there. Notre Dame 49, Navy 10 to snow, and Kentucky beat Florida 38-7. In the NFL, on a Thursday night snooze fest, the Broncos won. They're in first place in their division, just like to say that, 10-7. Colts beat the Falcons 31-25. Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. That was my upset. Bears beat the Giants 24-20. The Jaguars fell to the Texans 36-29. Dolphins beat the Bills. Are you serious? How does that happen? 30-13. Ravens beat the Vikings 27-19. And the Jets beat the Browns because the Browns suck. Oh my God, they suck. 27-20. Patriots beat the Buccaneers by a score 28-23. What else happened? Seahawks beat the Cardinals 44-22. Rams beat the 49ers 42-26. Lions beat the Commanders also by a score 44-22. Chargers beat the Steelers 25-10 on Sunday night. And the Eagles won because we saw one of the worst kicks ever. A 62-yard kick that went way to the left. My goodness, that was horrible. That would have tied the game had it been good. Tommy's picks time. Yes, sirree. Let's do it. Here's a good look at high school football regional semifinals. Oh, boy. Things are really starting to heat up. Division 1, Region 1, Ads will beat Whitmer. Manor will beat McKinley. What else? Holben Hudson. That'll be too easy for Holben. Walsh, Austin Town, Fitch. I gotta go with the Warriors. That'll be too easy for Walsh. Now our division, whether it's you folks at Wadsworth or me at Highland. Highland against North Ridgeville. Gotta go with my Hornets. We gotta win this game. I think we will. I really believe we will. And Wadsworth Avon. I've been driving around Wadsworth on my drive here, and I saw a bunch of signs that are rallying around their troops, rallying around the Grizzlies, saying, beat Avon. They really think this is the year. This might be the biggest game in the history of Arkwright Stadium, in my opinion. I know that. I don't know that much about Wadsworth football, but I can only assume it might be their biggest game they've ever hosted against the state champion Avon Eagles. I could see it going either way, but I think Avon will prevail. We'll see if the Grizzlies prove me wrong or whatnot. Division 2, Region 7, Big Walnut will beat Canal Winchester, and Washington will upset St. Francis de Sales. This will be my last week of Lock of the Week and Upset of the Week, because once, of course, you get to the regional finals, that's when everybody's basically the same team. And there isn't really an upset. Campfield will beat VASJ. CVCA will beat East. Buckeye against Rocky River, going with Rocky River, and TCC will beat Wapakoneta. Of course, Buckeye did beat Rocky River at the beginning of the season, but I think Rocky River will return the favor. Perry will beat West Branch, and Lake Catholic will beat Glenville. Cardinal Mooney will beat Garfield, and Georgia will beat Boone Seminary. And I got Kirtland beating Smithville, and number 6. Dalton will lose to Garraway. They're the 7th seed. And McDonald and Mogador will play in Division 7. All right, Division 3 football. Yes, sir, the last week of the regular season. Last week, BW gets to play more than likely. Makes me sad. Mount Union's going to bounce Muskingum. Johns Hopkins is going to beat Franklin and Marshall. River Falls will bounce Wisconsin Stout, no problem. Wartburg's my lock of the week over Buena Vista. And Wabash is my upset of the week over DePaul. Oh boy, big rivalry. Ithaca against Corwin. I gotta go Ithaca. What else is out there? Otterbein against ONU, picking the Polar Bears. They'll go 8-2. They might squeeze their way to a playoff berth. Oh my goodness. Ursinus against Carnegie Mellon with Ursinus. And Case Western will beat Geneva. Wittenberg will beat Kenyon. Grove State will beat Hiram pretty easily. The Presidents of Washington Jefferson will beat the Tomcats of Teal. We got to bounce back against Heidelberg. Heidelberg plays us honest every year, but I think we will beat them again. Coach Hilbert yet to lose to Heidelberg. Rose-Hulman against MSJ, picking MSJ. Hanover against Franklin, picking Hanover. And Marietta will lose to Bluffton. What else is out there? Mary Hardin Baylor. They will beat Howard Payne. And Lewis and Clark will beat Pacific. And now it's time for the FBS. Louisville will beat Clemson. A&M will beat South Carolina. A&M still going to be undefeated. My goodness. College game day is heading to Pittsburgh, where Pitt is playing Notre Dame. Got to go with those good old Fighting Irishmen. Yes, sirree. Navy against USF. USF is in the college football playoff picture right now, but I think Navy's going to kill their shot at USF with an upset win. Cincinnati against Arizona. Got to go with those Bearcats. Alabama, Oklahoma. That won't be a bad game, but I'm going with Alabama. Texas Tech's my lock of the week. My goodness, they will easily steamroll UCF. And USC against Iowa. Picking Iowa. And then the CBS game of the week. 3-6 Michigan State, 3-6 Penn State. I'd just like to say that whomever came up with the idea of changing the SEC on CBS to the Big Ten on CBS should be fired. I really believe they should be fired into the sun. That is a horrible mistake they did. I don't know what they were thinking. Because this is their big game, but not Alabama, Oklahoma. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Penn State will finally pick up that win after losing 6 straight. Wake Forest will beat North Carolina. Ole Miss against Florida. Got to go with Ole Miss. Baylor, Utah. Picking Baylor. Ohio State will beat up UCLA. Ohio State will still be undefeated. Of course they will. Georgia will beat Texas. That could also be a SEC on CBS matchup. But no, they want to go Big Ten. My goodness, that was really stupid. Biggest TV package fumble ever, perhaps. Mizzou will beat Mississippi State. And BYU will beat TC. In the NFL tonight, it's the Patriots-Jets. Oh boy, that won't be a contest. Patriots will keep their foot on the gas in the AFC East. Someone's got to win Dolphins Commanders. Jane Daniels ain't playing. I got to go with the Commanders. Falcons, they will beat the Panthers. Bills will get back with a win over Tampa. Jaguars, Chargers, going Chargers, sorry folks. And the Bears will beat the Vikings. Here's an upset. Giants will beat the Packers. Steelers will beat the Bengals. Texans will beat the Titans. 49ers, Cardinals. 49ers will win. Rams will beat the Seahawks. I am the foggiest why the Browns are on at 4:25 p.m. They're 2-7 for God's sake. But they'll get killed to Baltimore anyways. Chiefs will beat the Broncos. Eagles, Lions on Sunday night. Gotta go Lions. Sorry, folks. Just my throat's dry, that's all. Raiders, Cowboys. Gotta go with the Cowboys. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm wearing my Meadows Turkey Bowl jacket today because in just a mere 2 weeks, the Meadows Turkey Bowl is here. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. It's in 2 weeks from now. From the same folks that gave you first place spirit wear and first day school supplies comes the Meadows Turkey Bowl, the greatest event maybe ever. It's really awesome. I enjoy the heck out of it. John Gruden endorsed it. Everybody's endorsing it. Apparently David Kushner from The Office. I've never seen that show, but he's of course endorsing it. Everybody's endorsing it. Oh my goodness. You should donate. MeadowsTurkeyBowl.com. It's all for a very, very, very good cause. But you know what the best part is? All the money goes to charity. All the money goes to cancer research. And I will be commentating the game on WHBW. Not live because I tried last year. It didn't really work out too well. But I'll tell you one thing. I do intend to upload it later on that date. Thanksgiving Day, 8 a.m. Show up and show out. Because this is a lot of fun. It's backyard football at its best. You know backyard football, the video games. Well, imagine if it's for charity. I mean, there's no Pablo Sanchez or Pete Wheeler, of course, but there's Pete Meadows. Anyways, that's all of the time we got today for Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Next week is going to be episode number 300. Wow, I don't believe it. Till next time, goodbye, everybody.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.